And hello. This is the Daily Reset for Success show. And I'm Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe. And we're so tickled that you're here too in the audience. Thank you for showing up. And hello, Miss Marian LaSalle. How are you today?
I feel really good today. Woohoo, it's Friday.
All day. And there's our Miss Ricki McKenna, Ricki
Good
Mchealthy.
morning.
How are you today?
I am wonderful. I have managed to do a workout, do an ab workout, slug down some zeal, and put some makeup on, and here I am.
Here you are. Well, you look beautiful. We're so tickled. Ricki has filled in for a Dr. Carol Winter. They have had some challenges up here in the Conroe area where Dr. Winter lives, that electricity is out because of the Louisiana hurricane. So Ricki graciously agreed to fill in, and we'll have Dr. Cheryl a couple of weeks from now. So thank you for doing that with us, Ricki. But we're so excited to talk about cooking with words. What is that all about?
I love having Ricki on anytime, so it doesn't matter what she's talking about. I love having Ricki on. Thank you.
You know, it's funny because I as a foodie, the whole Mchealthy thing started many, many years ago. And I just feel, of course, you know, I'm a coach as well, as a certified nutritionist, certified coach, all that good stuff. That means I took a lot of classes and courses, and hopefully I learned something that I can help transfer to other people, and that's where the words come in.
And you're very helpful, no matter what it is, whether it's about food or your spouse's.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. Ricki can help.
Okay, you know it's funny. I'm going to do something that's really goofy, but I have to show you something. Several years ago, a cousin of mine came to visit me when I was living in Colorado, and this is my gift. Can you see it? The Essential Book of Knowledge.
Guide to Essential Knowledge.
And it sort of has a gazillion different things. Just you can ask a question, and the answer might be in there. It makes a wonderful prop for my computer on the desk. I feel as though I'm absorbing the knowledge from
That's
it. Yeah, it's coming to me virtually. Thank you, Marian. That's one heck of a compliment. I appreciate it.
Well,
I guess
it's true. You're my coach, and I'm in your healthy mastermind. So it really does help me as a person trying to be better, eat better, get along with people. And you introduced us to Eileen Dillon. My God, we've got to have gold stars for that one.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. And I'm in your mastermind, which is fabulous because I've met so many wonderful people. That's one of the neat parts about this whole online thing. And I digress, but it's okay. Cooking with words, which is fun. Because number one, I love to cook, and I don't think that, backwards words. I think that we are always cooking up something. It's like my favorite program on the radio is Cooking Up Jazz with Chef Tim. That's on KTSU. Plug, great station for jazz, but he's always cooking up jazz. But he also gives out recipes. So here we are, we're cooking with words, and you do cook with words. You make available something for people to take in as food through their ears, and sometimes, just through their whole being. And that's the reason I said cooking with words, because I feel as though food isn't just the stuff we put in our mouths, food, drink, water, that kind of thing. Those are necessary. But my whole thing about cooking with words is the words that we use have impact, and you know that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the words that we don't use have impact. And choosing your words very carefully, that's the notice what you're noticing, Marian. And, I love that statement.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, and yet it is so profound. because it really helps us to think first, as what's the old expression, open mouth, insert foot. We want to avoid that. I don't know, other than babies, anybody who enjoys chewing on their toes. But words are important, and our choice of words can really help someone, and it can also, in some cases, harm. It can hurt. And the old, I like the drama here. Yeah. Seriously.
Yes.
It doesn't just get to your ears. It affects your whole being.
Well, let me tell you how some of your words have affected me, if I may.
Ooh.
So here I am drinking Zeal. Okay, so Zeal is, the formula was made by the same people that came up with Emergency.
Yes.
And so immediately I was like, oh, I love Emergency. I love the taste. I love how it makes me feel. I know that I'm getting good, vitamin C and all that stuff. So I felt good ordering it. And when it came in, it tasted so good. And now every time I drink it, I do think about what I'm noticing. Okay, I'm noticing that I really like the fact that I'm feeding myself good, nutritious drinks and food. So
Great.
now when I'm eating dead food, I don't like it anymore because I'm noticing it. Darn you. I can't go to Dairy Queen anymore without feeling like, oh, I really, maybe I should go home and make a shake. Put some ice cubes in it. It'll make it seem like ice cream.
Well, you know what? I hereby give you permission to go to Dairy Queen once in a while and just splurge. Go for it. It's not going to hurt. Because
what I'm trying to get at, though, is that I am noticing what I'm noticing, and I want to feel better. I want to know what I'm putting in inside me, whether it's the people around me or the drinks or food. I want to feel like I'm doing the right thing instead of just shoveling it in because I'm hungry.
Exactly. Thank you, Marian. I couldn't have asked for a better testimonial. And I truly mean that. I absolutely love you, and I love you, Lady Lou, because you're so real. Most of us have been around long enough to know the difference between listening to somebody who is real, who's coming from their heart, from their soul, and those who are just BSing. And that's, I've forgotten what Reverend Michael Gott calls that, but he does use that expression. It means, oh darn, I'll have to think of it. It's not what we normally use it for, but he's intimating that there's another thing about words, because you can give another meaning to those initials. There's so much about words and how we prepare a talk, same as preparing a meal. We're going to feed someone our words, right?
Oh.
And Marian just did that. She made a delicious dish as far as I'm concerned. That tasted real good and it felt good. And that's the key, I think, to any kind of food that we feed ourselves. And Lou, when you said you feed yourself, you drink water a lot, and you feed yourself certain things. Why do you do that? Why do you read good books?
Yeah, we want to feel better. We want to have fun. We want to just be who we are and maybe improve it with the books and the food.
Yeah. And we don't always read for personal improvement. There's a lot of that goes on. Sometimes I read to escape, and those are the words that I feed myself. Like I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I was reading Alice in Wonderland. I have never read the whole book.
I haven't either.
And it's a giggle. It's a strange one, but it is definitely a giggle, and it makes your mind think in different ways. That's, I think, also the point of words. Like Eileen's book, Emotions in Motion. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And she goes to, that's what got me curious, other than meeting her. And she is a delight. Yes. She is such a lovely, calm, smart person. And her dog reflects exactly who she is.
Really?
Pie is about this big. She, I think it's a she,
Yeah.
is just quiet. She sits underneath her chair because pie goes everywhere. It's part of Eileen. She will just sit there. You could be sitting and eating around her. I'll call her a her. I think it's a her.
Mhm.
And it's a reflection of the calmness that Eileen brings to situations.
I love how she likes to share. And have you noticed that the people that are hanging around us, the people that are making comments down below as we're going live and on the replays, those are all people that you want to hang out with. They're all the people that are using words of encouragement and love and joy and excitement, right? Those are the people that you want to hang around with. So,
yes.
If you want to make a positive impact on the world, share the good stuff. Because like this morning, I got a text from a friend of mine who saw a recipe that I shared. I call it the summer salad. I'm sure that people call it other things, Mexican salad, whatever. But it looked good. I held it up. I took a picture of it. I put it on social media, and people really responded to that.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're thanking me. I tried your recipe, Marian. It was wonderful.
Uh-huh.
And so sharing makes me feel good. Okay, It made them feel good. It makes me feel good. You share. Lady Lou's a big sharer.
Yep.
I think if more people could understand that that's what makes people really respond and send back good stuff to you is when you share the good stuff, like the words they're talking about.
Yeah. And it's not always just the words. The beautiful picture that you took, you were so happy in that picture holding the bowl.
I'm like, look, see what I made? See what I made?
I have to tell you, I shared that with a bunch of people. And they all said, oh, that's beautiful. And you looked so happy in that. Something else just flew out of my mind that I was going to talk to about cooking with words. Oh, I know what it was. Years ago, my first sojourn in Houston, where I was here for 27 years, I was doing corporate consulting and doing something we called a communication exercise, where we would I would take everybody in the company from the CEO to the janitor, and we'd sit them in a row back to back on chairs. Let's say we had 12 people and they were sitting back to back on a chair. And on their laps, I gave them a piece of paper and 5 other pieces of paper that were different shapes: a circle, a square, a rectangle, a triangle. And it was a right triangle. It wasn't an equilateral triangle. It's important. And then there was one piece that was shaped like, you could call it an ice cream cone. It got called an ice cream cone, a pie wedge, a quarter round. Do you get what I'm saying? 3 different descriptions for one particular shape. Oh. And the whole exercise was one side, the 6 people on one side had all this equipment on their laps. And they had to make an arrangement. They had to arrange the shapes in a particular way, however they wanted to. They could stack them up, vertically or side, whatever. And each of them did it differently. And then they had to tell the person in back of them how to repeat what they had just done, only using words. They couldn't look. Oh. Boy, what an interesting combination of words that was. Because particularly with the triangle, which was a right triangle, which is the one that's this, and that, not a equal one. And that other piece that was the quarter round or the pie wedge, or whatever people decided to call it. And my whole point in doing this was, how do you communicate to different people? Mm-hmm. How do you have somebody understand a particular recipe? When I'm calling something one thing, that's where I asked yesterday when Cynthia was talking about a particular spice that she was using. And she was saying Sichuan. And just knowing her and knowing a little bit about Chinese food, I said, is that the same that Americans would call Szechuan? She said, yes. Uh-huh. So we couldn't, because she speaks with a bit of a Chinese accent, which is adorable. But I wanted to clarify that. And the whole point in that lesson with, the back to back and repeating the particular diagram or whatever you want to call it, the shapes on the paper, was communicating and making sure that the other person understood what you meant. Because afterwards, when everybody had about 15 minutes to do this, then we compared the back to back to see who had actually gotten it. And it's amazing the difference in what people said and what they heard. So words are super duper important when it comes to, especially in a corporate situation, if you're explaining something, if it's a real estate. My favorite one is with real estate, I want a house with a jacuzzi. And the realtor's talking about a hot tub.
Oh.
They could both be the same thing. But if the realtor doesn't adapt to the client's words and have explain the same thing so that it has meaning to the person, then they may lose them.
Oh.
I don't know that would be a big deal, but
it might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Years and years and years ago, when I was with Career Track, they had a cassette tape. That's how far back it goes. And it was about shapes and the different shapes we are as people. I didn't even know about it. I had never heard about it. And when they put all these shapes in front of me, the square, the rectangle, the triangle, the circle, the this, the that, it said, pick out the one you think you are. And I was lost, totally lost. So I thought about it for a little while, and then I picked the circle. And they said, that's it. You're all inclusive. You want everybody to be with you and join your community and be a part of your world. I was flabbergasted that I even got it right.
Okay, I can't find it right now, but that. I have one too. That's about
beautiful.
That. Think about this now. Okay, we eat a round pizza in a square box when we eat it in a triangle shape.
Oh, that's great.
It covers the bases.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
I haven't either.
Like putting a round thing in a square hole.
Yes. Why do we put a round pizza in a square box and eat it in a triangle shape?
Well, I know why it goes in a square box, because it's a lot less expensive to make square boxes than it is to make round boxes.
And they could make a square pizza,
You could make haven't you never made a square pizza?
I have, but
Oh, my favorite thing.
That.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of places that do square pizzas, and I figured, what's the old story about? It's Cookin. The woman who took a great big roast beef, and she cut the ends off of it before she put it in the pan. And her friend was standing there going, "Why did you cut the ends off of it?" And she said, "Well, because that's the way my mother always used to do it." And then the light bulb went on, and she said, "Oh my gosh, she cut it off to fit it in the pan." Why do we do things?
Yep.
Sometimes
we
because
have to notice what we're noticing here.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. And that's where it's funny. It is really so funny to think about the words that you say to somebody. For example, we were talking about making suggestions to somebody for trying something new, maybe trying some new foods and cooking a little bit differently. And we don't want to insult someone because their food is good and they're trying and they're making food and they're bringing things to the table that they think are wonderful. And I'm probably in that same boat. However, to ask someone to try something, maybe we can try this, or make a suggestion, but not a thing like, you really should do this, or I want that, and I'd rather have that than that. And there's a big difference in how that person's going to receive whatever you say.
Mm-hmm. And big. And a lot of us are not aware of our words. They just come out of our mouth. And stop and think before you speak is a good phrase. I've been known to Oops, just stuck my foot in my mouth.
That's what I said. Chew on your toes. Well, I call it blurting because I've been known to blurt. And then if you're in a situation where the blurt doesn't really hurt anybody and you can make fun of it, make fun of yourself, kind of take responsibility for it, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're in a situation where, oops. When I'm up in front of a group, I speak to the senior group a lot at Glacier Senior Center here. And what I've found is most of them have a good sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And I got up there I guess it was 2 weeks ago, I did an in-person talk, and we were talking about a combination of things, but stroke prevention with food. And so I was talking about, what foods are good for people to eat, and besides water, to help prevent strokes. And the other part of the talk was about getting up and moving. Mm-hmm. And I said, and the other thing is you've got to get up and get off your butts. And I could watch the faces. It was like, what did she just say?
Oops.
But I can't do this, but I'm too tired, but I'm too old, but I'm not good enough. All those buts are the ones you have to get off. And I could visibly see the difference in the reception of what I was saying. And I wrote that. Did I write that in the things for the mastermind? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember seeing that one. No, that's a good one. Get off of all your butts. I love that.
Get off your butts. It's plural. And because we do tend to negate ourselves. When we say but, you negate the thing that went before the but. In other words, I think I'm going to go wash the car, but no, I don't feel like it now. Mm-hmm. And the but negates stuff. When you say, I think I'm going to go wash the car, and maybe I'll just do this first. Mm-hmm. There's a difference in the feeling and the meaning of that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're cooking with gas, or you're cooking with, that's it. How many cliches are there?
Oh, Lady Lou can tell you that. She was writing a book about it. She had about 5,000 pages of them.
Really?
Yeah, I've never gotten the book rounded up, though. But there's a bunch of them out there, and they're things that we've heard all our lives. Mm-hmm. And I heard a new one day when I was out in the country selling aerial photographs years ago. The farmer I was talking with and showing them the pictures and told him how much they were. And they weren't cheap. They started at 150 and went up. Mm-hmm. And he says, well, I would just love one, but I'm on a low limb right now.
On a low limb.
Money-wise is what he meant.
Yeah. It's funny how many, we could probably sit here. I'm sure there are a bunch of them in that book. Aren't there books about cliches?
I'm sure there are.
That have stuck around for generations. Uh-huh. I mean, millennium, I think. Millennia? What's the plural, speaking of words?
Yeah.
I keep saying that, they're goofy, some of them, but they're usually truisms.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's fun, because you can, that's why I put things in quotes sometimes, because I know it's got to be a cliche that somebody's come up with before. And so here's another one. I love that. I have this on my desk, my walls in front of me, and it's an interesting combination of words. It's tired of trying to cram her sparkly, star-shaped self into society's beige square holes. She chose to embrace her ridiculous awesomeness and shine like the freaking supernova she was meant to be.
Yes. Love that.
How about that?
I love that.
I don't remember where I got it, but I printed it, and it's smack dab in front of me every day when I look at my desk.
Would you do us a favor, and when the show's over, if you go over to Facebook and YouTube and type that into the comments? I think there's going to be a lot of folks that want that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Should I do it here?
No. Wait
No,
till
I
the
can't.
show's finished.
Oh, okay.
And we're almost through anyway. We're running out of
Oh my
time. But
God.
I wanted to let people know about your free offer.
Oh,
Remember?
yes.
I'll read it if you'd like. It says, for the first 3 people who contact Ricki by phone or email, and that's in the description down below in the comment, in the description part under the videos. But for the first 3 people that contact her, they're going to get a 30-minute free consultation, either about cooking or nutrition or coaching if you need some business coaching and that type of thing, about words, if nothing else. So just check out the phone number or the email and send her something, and be sure and ask her about her new pandemic cooking classes. Oh, they're fabulous. And she even got a newsletter.
Yep. Pantuitive. I decided, since they're intuitive cooking. Yeah. No, it was pandemic when I started back in March. I can't believe it's that long ago.
Long ago.
Wow. And I decided that the pandemic, thank God, will not last forever, but cooking will. And the intuition will go on forever. We all have that.
That's true.
So I changed
also, I'd love for people to go to your Patreon. It's patreon.com/Ricki Mchealthy. And you also have a podcast. So if they go to anchor.fm/Mchealthy-matters, it will take you to an awesome place where you can listen to Ricki as you're driving down the road. I don't know, walking the dog, doing laundry, whatever it is you're doing. Probably not swimming, but other than that, you could probably take her with you. And although I'm watching people as I'm swimming at the Y, I'm watching people listening to something.
You're kidding.
No, and I'm like, how are they doing that? And why?
Underwater?
You know, why would you want to have, anyway, whatever.
Maybe they're earplugs. Who knows?
No, I can hear it as they pass me, because it's they're lanes.
You can hear it?
I can hear it,
but
they're listening to something. Yeah.
Well, I guess there are radios and things that you can take, that are waterproof.
I
guess There's a lot of stuff out there. And the world is so full of things, marvelous things.
Kindness matters. And when you're thinking up words that you want to share with your friends, your enemies, your boss, your kids, your neighbors, it really does matter. Words can hurt, words can uplift, and you can cook with words. So, I mean, we got it going on here. So
I love it.
Do the right thing and cook with the right words.
Right.
Amen.
One quick quote. And it has to do with, you can flavor your food with certain things. If you have the choice, and it's Wayne Dyer, I believe, that's put this out. If you have the choice to be right or to be kind, choose kind. It'll make the world a much better place.
Kindness matters.
Yes.
Well, one of the ways that I think that most people would be able to experience you would be to contact you on one of your social media channels.
Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Ricki McKenna.
I was going to say, if you go to Facebook, some people are not on Facebook. Some of our favorite friends choose not to be on Facebook. So if they're not, there's other ways that they can get a hold of you. And I think that you're so friendly and you're so giving that if they don't contact you, they're going to lose out.
Amen.
Thank you, Marian. Thank you, Lou. I really appreciate, I'm so grateful for the two of you. I can't even begin to tell you. You have made my life more complex but delightful.
Did you hear that, Lady Lou? Hey, write that one down. We can make people's lives more complex.
But complex isn't bad. No, it's a good thing. And it's also made my life much more fun, because this has allowed me to be goofy me, coming from my heart and whatever else part of my body it comes from. Because I really love helping people. I love being a resource for people. So at the Patreon, patreon.com/Ricki Mchealthy, or on either Facebook, or call me, 970-618-7607. It's a Colorado cell phone. It's right here. I just got a nice new case, a new phone. at 970-618-7607. I really do respond to the phone.
Yes.
And thank you both so much. You two are wonderful. I appreciate you so much from my heart.
And
Well,
back
we
to
appreciate
you from
you.
our hearts.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Wonderful
another day
weekend.
has come and gone. You know, it just, the show is too short, but we will be back. I promise you. We are live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we're on all the podcast platforms that matter, like iTunes.
Yes.
On iTunes. And I got started on my podcasting platform, iTunes, and I guess it's because it has a big chunk of my heart. I just love it. Anyway, we are available to answer any questions that you might have. And Lady Lou always sends up a schedule the whole week on Facebook. So if you go to Natural Curiosity on Facebook, it's a group, and you join, you'll be able to see all of the shows. And Ricki is she's just a staple. She comes and hangs out with us as often as she can, and we love it. Every time she's got great stuff to share. So come on back. Thank you. We'll see you again.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye, everyone.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
weekend.
You bet.